The Dutch Colonial house at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York, stood tall under the bleak winter sky, its iconic quarter-moon windows resembling two dead, unblinking eyes staring out into the freezing waters of the Long Island Sound. To the outside world, it was a beautiful waterfront property, but to anyone who crossed the threshold, it was a living trap. On November 13, 1974, a horrific mass murder took place inside these walls when Ronald DeFeo Jr. methodically took the lives of his family while they slept, claiming that deep, dark voices inside the house commanded him to do it. The local police closed the case, but the dark, heavy air within the structure never truly settled. 1 year later, in December 1975, George and Kathleen Lutz bought the property at a drastically reduced price, believing they had found their dream home. They moved in with high hopes, completely unaware that the house had already marked them as its next targets. The terror began almost immediately, starting with a strange, heavy atmospheric pressure that settled over the rooms. George Lutz, a healthy and rational businessman, underwent a disturbing transformation within the first 48 hours of moving in. He became distant, cold, and consumed by a constant, shivering chill that no amount of firewood could fix. He spent all his hours wrapped in blankets, obsessively tending to the fireplace in the living room, staring blankly into the flames. Along with the sudden change in his personality, a foul, unmistakable stench began to plague the hallways, the smell of rotting meat and stagnant swamp water that seemed to move from room to room with no explanation. No matter how hard Kathleen scrubbed the floors and walls, the sickening odor remained, clinging to the air like a physical entity. It was as if the very foundations of the house were beginning to decay from the inside out, exhaling a dark venom into the living spaces. As the days bled into weeks, the phenomenon escalated from silent discomfort to aggressive, physical terror. Every single night, without fail, George would snap awake at exactly 3:15 a.m. His eyes would fly open in the pitch-black bedroom, his heart hammering violently against his ribs as a cold sweat broke across his skin. He didn't know why, but a strange, magnetic force compelled him to walk downstairs through the silent house, checking the locks in the dark. It wasn't until much later that he discovered the terrifying truth: 3:15 a.m. was the exact time the DeFeo murders had been committed 1 year prior. The house was trapped in a horrific loop, forcing its new master to keep watch during the devil's hour. Soon, the physical structural elements of the building began to warp. Heavy wooden doors would violently rip off their hinges in the middle of the night, slamming against the walls with deafening force, waking the family in pure panic. Black, oily slime began to ooze from the keyholes and the cracks in the ceilings, dripping onto the carpet like a dark, thick poison. The final, breaking point came during a freezing storm in mid-January. George woke up at his usual time, 3:15 a.m., but the air inside the bedroom was so cold that his breath formed thick, white clouds in the dark. He turned to his side and froze in absolute horror. Hovering just outside the bedroom window, staring directly through the glass, were two glowing, blood-red eyes. They belonged to a massive, shadowy, demonic figure that seemed to blend into the storm outside. At that exact second, a loud, metallic scraping sound echoed from the walls, as if something massive was clawing its way up from the basement. The house began to shake, and a deep, guttural roar vibrated through the floorboards, shouting a single, terrifying command: "Get out!" Panic broke their paralysis. George and Kathleen grabbed their belongings, ran to their car in the middle of the blizzard, and fled, leaving everything behind. They survived, but the house at 112 Ocean Avenue still stands, its dark windows waiting for the next owner to step inside.